Hey, everybody. I'm back for the last episode of Netflix Ladies First, the story of women in hip hop. What's changing? Episode 4. So this one was short and kind of to the point. It was, a wrap up episode. And part one is the sisterhood for me. So they basically had women rappers being proud of each other, talking about who they admire, so on and so forth. And the stereotype of only one woman being able to be the major female MC in the game at the time is being destroyed, is essentially what they're arguing. I think it's a good thing that this is, given sisterhood and people bringing in female rappers that they learned from. Because the Nicki Minaj, Lil Kim beef was like, ugh. But like, this group is a little different, and that these young ladies that are out here are from various backgrounds and various shades. I think it's good that black girls and women can see different people they can enjoy and identify with. I also think it's a good example for just young black girls in general to respect each other, work with each other instead of fighting each other and competing violently. Because reality TV has done enough for that. All right. Anyway, so then we get part two is giving boss bitch. Queen Latifah is centered, of course, and they show the way she has transitioned from rapper into all these other things. And I think Brittany Cooper made the point. She was like, well, she's shown us hip hop can be this training ground. And to me, I didn't consider it a training ground. I feel like she's an excellent rapper and she can also be an excellent actress. It can also be, all these other things. I don't necessarily think that it has to be a training ground because what it does is it makes rap seem less, I guess. But anyway, they show the way she transitioned from rapper to actress on mainstream TV, like Living Single, where she, starred. She had two talk shows. She's a businesswoman, entrepreneur. I mean, she has really kept a great career. Her career has been very consistent. You know what I mean? And she said her success really has come as a result of owning her own content. And we know people have warned us about this. People like Prince talked about it. People like Tavis Smiley. Like, even when the whole thing broke out with PBS, which I really don't want to give attention to because I didn't believe it. Um, PBS didn't own his content, he owned it. And now the KBLA station in Los Angeles or whatever, the black owned radio station, but owning your own content allows him the power to decide what gets put on and what not. And that's very different than having to go to a white boss and somebody who has no idea about your culture. So anyway, they talk about how Queen Latifah partnered with Shakim, who helped her learn the business and the ideas about owning content, and they were partners, not like his sort of like mentee, and he's teaching her, like they were partners. So she set up a management company, which I didn't know, because she knows of how there are potholes and pitfalls and exploitation that happens to women. So, she said sometimes you got to back men down, at these large meetings when they're telling you about your hair and your look. And, I'm in that room saying, no, she's perfect the way she is. Because that's what they do. People try to package you and manufacture you. Um, as much as I like Rihanna is a manufactured artist. She is. She's a manufactured artist. Anyway, so they talk about women in hip hop and how they are investing and partnering with companies for endorsement deals, like Cardi with McDonald's, and expanding like how they get money and venture into other things. And I think that's great anyway, just as a way to support yourself. Just because in life, nothing, in this country, nothing is forever dependable except the grace of God. All right. Anyway, so they talk about Sweetie. Can I just say something? I don't like the way her name is spelled, and it bothers me every time I've seen it on the blogs. Why can't you just name yourself Sweetie the right way? Because it looks like salty to me, and I don't like when things don't, no. Mm-mm. Phonetically, I just don't like it. Anyway, so she grew up in the Bay Area, California. You know how I feel about California. So she said she started rapping out of her car on Instagram because she couldn't afford studio time. I was like, girl, I think they skipped over how significant that was. Because honestly, you probably saved a whole lot of money and started making more because you ain't have no fucking advance. You ain't have to go in debt trying to pay for no studio time and shit like that. That worked out for your good. Good for you for being innovative. Um, and I didn't know anything about the song Icy Girl, but whatever. Good for you. I ain't mad at nobody working hard trying to do their own thing. Then we get this girl Lotto. Okay, she started rapping at a young age. Moved to Atlanta. Her mother got pregnant with her at 16. Her and her father, raised her, whatever. She said she's been underestimated. She said pretty much all her life. Her mom is white. Her father is black. Now I remember vaguely hearing about this chick, and I'm just gonna tell you right now, another one. Her name bothers me. Okay, it bothers me. Your mom is white. Your father is black, and you're calling yourself Lotto from mulatto, and which was just another way of describing lighter complexion black people in the United States and in the Caribbean. But in the United States, you were still considered black. It was just a way of describing you when you ran away. And I just think that is so lame. It's so lazy. It's so historically loaded and misused. I'm not here for that name. You and Salty or whatever the hell her name is, yeah, do better. So she said she's been rapping since she was 8 years old, and her parents were like, you do that until the end. Like my parents would have let me like write poetry. They would even let me sing. I just don't think I could have been sitting around rapping at 8 years old. Just something about that. They just wouldn't have. Rapping always seemed to be kind of like a grown thing. Like we could listen to hip hop music and stuff, but it wasn't like I don't know. They just wouldn't be letting me do that. But anyway, but I also didn't have any talent, so maybe that was part of it too. That's neither here nor there. Anyway, so she won Jermaine Dupri's contest on Lifetime. I didn't know this because, like I said, I don't really follow these people. And she said she turned out his record deal, and she said she was already getting views, booking shows, making money. And basically, what they offered her was some bullshit. She was like, "So if I'm already here, whatever you offer me needs to be here." And that means they were trying to shit her out of a deal. And Jermaine Dupri knew he could make money off of her. Hell, she had already been doing her own promotion, like, and had already made a way for herself. What the fuck did she need him for? I don't blame you. That was smart. That was a smart move. So she went to the street. She started making, stuff, and she had made a name for herself. So she's also somebody who said she turned down a feature because a rapper wanted to sleep with her in exchange for that. And she was like, most labels will tell you to be quiet about that, don't mention it. And she was like, no, people need to say something about that. And I respected that. I respected that because she's right. It won't stop if everybody is quiet about, oh, that's just the way it is. And if you want to make money, and this is when you have to be willing to sacrifice money for dignity, for self, and for the greater good, and for social responsibility. And shout out to you for doing that. All right, so part 3, we out here. All right, so they talk about like the queerness with female rappers. They talk about the girl Chica, who I like I said, I only know because she wanted the baby to be quiet on the plane. So Chica is from Montgomery, Alabama. Her parents were from Nigeria, but she kind of considers herself a daughter of the South. She said her exposure to hip hop really came from hearing Outkast. She said she was 16 when she finally got $1,000 for studio time. I said, yeah. You Nigerian? Because she said that like she was 26 years old when she finally got $1,000. They stay getting money. Okay? So she's, I'm like, I ain't surprised. So she said she got her money for a mic because she got $100 for quoting Bible verses. And the mic she wanted was $99. I was like, oh, okay. So she said, from the time she started rapping, she felt all this pressure to conform. She said not only is she a girl, she's a black girl. She's queer. She wasn't feminine enough, and she said that, she grew up in church and she had already been told she was an abomination for being gay, and that would be disappointing to Sky Daddy. I don't know what in the cult hell that is. I have never heard God referred to as Sky Daddy, but that makes me think you was in one of those extreme religious circumstances, and I'm glad you escaped. Sky Daddy, something about that just don't sound. I'm just anyway. So the brat says that she was never affectionate. No, wait. Yeah. So anyway, talking about how queer women's voices are now having a moment in hip hop, and I was sitting there like they've always been there. Like there's a few who shall remain nameless, I guess, that I knew were gay just even as a teenager. Like I just never, it never crossed my mind that they were straight. Like, I mean, it didn't stop me from listening to them, but I was just like, this isn't new. Then they have the Brad, and she says that she was never affectionate with anybody in public because she was so famous that that was the one thing she could keep. And I was kind of like, well, you were famous. You were big at one point, but your career kind of fizzled a bit at a point. Anyway, and she said the day she came out on Instagram, her weight was lifted. I was like, I guess so. Honestly, I thought the Brat being gay was common knowledge. I didn't. Once again, I didn't have to see her with a woman or a man in public. I just thought that was something everybody knew. So I was still kind of like, oh, okay. I'm glad her weight was lifted. I imagine if she had been hiding what we all kind of felt like we knew, but or I kind of felt like let me speak for myself. But I just and Queen Latifah and Joe Morgan is talking about how people basically wanted her to use her relationship with Queen Latifah to kind of out her. And see, that to me is the cruel part, right? That's the devious part, and that's the unfair part. And that to me is different. Now, Queen Latifah, I feel like, is somebody who could say, there's very few parts of my life that have been private. Because, like I said, her career has been steady. But Brad, girl, okay. Anyway, part 4, giving flowers. And I like this part because they were basically showing the OGs, talking about who they like. So MC Light talked about how much she loved Tierra Whack. Yo-Yo was like, I love Cardi B. Radiga was like, I love Rico Nasty. I had never heard of this girl, but she was like, thank God I didn't have to slap a bitch today. She was like, that's my kind of girl. Oh my gosh. I don't know why I cracked up at that, but I was like, yeah, I gotta check her out. So MC Light said she just wants women to understand the power they have and to stand in it. And honestly, as far as these people have come, like MC Light, Queen Latifah, the kind of careers they have had, the way they've mentored other women and not been the kind of petty bitches in the media every time somebody's different or comes out, I can respect that because that's a sign of maturity and it's a sign of security of oneself. It is. MC Light talks about when she, did her album, she said it wasn't new. She said now it's just some regular shit that everybody talks about. But she was like, when she met DMX later, in life, and after he had become big when he was like older, and she was talking about a crayon what I understand or whatever. He said that song spoke to him. He felt like that was him, and I was like, wow, that must be mind blowing. I mean, of course they're New York rappers or whatever, but then sometimes you have to think to yourself, wow, you just have no idea who you may have influenced. You know what I mean? So it ends with women rappers encouraging women rappers, and I think that's a good note to end on or whatever. But this was a cute series. I liked it. There's some names that I may look up, other names I may not, but it was a good little overview. So anyway, I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.